Monica, it's the day after my favorite night of the year, election night.
Well, it was probably Governor Christie's favorite night of the year as well. The governor did a victory lap this morning, hitting all of the major media outlets.
Can we call this a victory lap?
You certainly can call it an acknowledgement of a lot of hard work by a lot of great governors.
Governors that get things done win votes.
How much credit do you personally deserve for the success of these Republican governors across the country?
The candidates deserve the credit.
Governors and Republican gubernatorial candidates all across the country had a really good night. So they had a good night. It was good for me. It's a lot more red than blue, and I love that map this morning. Looks absolutely fabulous.
Now, the reason, well, Governor Christie is the chair of the Republican Governors Association, and this morning, Republicans have control of the House, the Senate, and there are 31 Republican governors in America. Now, we have Kyle Kondik from the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia in studio today via Skype to give us a little insight on what he makes of all of this.
Hey, Kyle, welcome to Chasing. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Do the results of yesterday's midterm election indicate that Governor Christie has a point when he says that he's got the ability to reach across the aisle and win Democratic votes? And I'm referencing the huge victories in Massachusetts, in Maryland.
Well, it's a fair point, although, it's worth noting that Christie himself was not on the ballot, of course. Although you do have to give credit to Christie for one thing. The Republican Governors Association is always very flush with cash, and this year was no exception. Christie's a great fundraiser. If Christie wants to take a victory lap because of this unexpectedly good night by the Republican governors, hey, I think he's totally...
Wasn't too good of a night for Governor Christie because you had that type of a victory. Now you've got Rick Perry, Jeb Bush. Did this night empower a lot of other people to think that they should compete against Governor Christie?
The party is flying high right now, and I think a lot of Republicans are looking at this presidential field and saying, hey, why not me? On the flip side, Christie's made a lot of friends among the Republican governors because he went in and supported a lot of them. A lot of them won. These governors may feel like they owe.
I think it was just a really interesting contrast, though, with Governor Christie being this sought-after commodity and President Obama persona non grata.
Part of the reason why the Republicans had a good night last night is basically because the electorate that showed up was Republican. And that's just sort of what the midterm dynamic is. It's a backlash against the White House.
I think that's what they mean by a wave. Kyle Kondik, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it.